It's 7:40 on New Year's Day. Hooray! Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina, and Happy New Year to you all. If you didn't hear me say it last night, I'll say it again. Happy New Year. We've got some big weather talk. I guess we could focus on rain and snow, but before I get to that, I got a lot to tell you first off. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television. You're watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather. And we're going to exhaust this weather thing. We're going to spell it all out for you. And then at the end, you'll say, but that's based on today's data. Could it change? The answer is yes. So we're going to take an exhaustive look at today's data and then figure out what might change, what might not change, because not everybody is going to have the same experience on Saturday as all across the board. It's going to be different. By the way, this is sponsored by Marco's Pizza because we get hungry from time to time. In this live stream, we're giving away 22 free pizzas. 12 pizzas will go to one person, and then we'll give out 10 individual pizzas. We like to do that, just hand them out 10 individual pizzas. And again, they could go to some folks who've never had Marco's Pizza, but if you are a Marco's Pizza fan, we're going to talk about that at the top of the hour. For sure, we're going to be giving away some free pizza and talk more about the deal of the week. I'm excited about the deal of the week. Now, as far as our weather is concerned, rain and snow mix possible on Saturday and Saturday night. But aren't you missing something, Aldrich? You're skipping Friday. Well, okay, all right, let's be fair. First things first. I can't argue with that. First things first. Tomorrow's going to be nice, right? Partly cloudy, cold in the morning, lows around 30 in the morning, and then we'll be back up to about 53 in the afternoon. So it's actually going to turn milder. Some areas today did get in the 50s. Many of those areas were in North Carolina, some areas in inland Virginia, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I know what you're most interested in. It's probably what a lot of people were talking about last night, which was this crazy little nuance of snow. Because if you go back to the 31st of December, last night's live stream, we focused in on where? Gloucester, Newport News, some parts of the Eastern Shore, had a little bit of a quick snow shower on the last day of the year in the morning. Now, if you go back over the last 24 hours, which is what, 18 hours we're looking at here, look at Salisbury, maybe Chincoteague, maybe a few flurries develop, right? These little impulses. What I expect to develop this Saturday will be a little bit bigger than that, but not much, right? Had a little bit of false echoes there, maybe across the Eastern Shore this morning, but a few flurries, at least potentially, might have come down from Salisbury and in across parts of areas not far from Chincoteague Island. So maybe that's what you had this morning. If you did, so be it. It's not a big deal. But you could almost divide our TV viewing area in half based on this front. South toward Myrtle Beach, Wrightsville Beach, Cape Fear, it's pretty mild. But on this side of the fence, around Virginia Beach and Norfolk, it's kind of chilly. It's kind of cold, right? If I zoom in a little bit closer, you can see that dividing line is well south of Hatteras, but it's pretty chilly around, say, the 757, Williamsburg, Franklin, Virginia Beach, and Elizabeth City, just to name a few. By the way, I got to show you this comment. This is a great comment. It came in, I believe, today. Did I have this right? I got to know from Jackie. This is from the tease of tonight's First Warning Live. This comes by way of Jackie. She says, I'm praying for snow. Now, that's Jackie, okay? Compare that to Judy, who says, no, cancel the snow part, please. So I don't know if those prayers cancel out. I don't know. That's beyond my pay grade, but I can tell you that there are some people that would hope for, are wishing for some snow. I want to go to our friend Chastity West, says, I wish it would snow. Have a blizzard. Even if it doesn't snow like that, Chastity, you could always go to Dairy Queen. I mean, there are opportunities, if you think about it, there are ways to get a blizzard, but it doesn't have to be the kind that you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Blizzard, I'm thinking, was February 19th. But even though then you had 10 or 11 inches of snow, that was just a crippling snow for Virginia Beach, no doubt about that. But I get ahead of myself. If you didn't know, we're giving away $5 Pozzolis this week. That means through today, tomorrow, and Saturday, you can get Pozzolis, which usually will sell for $8, $9, sometimes $7.99 or $6.99 on sale, but you can get it for $5 if you just watch this program, and you have thus far. Use the promo code WTKR David. That's my first name. And this, to be fair, was the very first item I tried at Marco's. I was really impressed. They're like a stromboli or a calzone, my personal favorites, the sausage, pepperoni sausage. And they're a lot bigger than what one would indicate in this photograph. But if you want to check it out, oh yes, the Pozzoli, not the Blizzard, check out the Pozzoli at marcos.com. There's 6 locations that you can redeem this special deal. And later this evening at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock, I'm going to give away some pizza. I know some of you are excited about that, but if you want to redeem pizza, you'd have to go to one of the 3 Virginia Beach locations, or one of the 2 Chesapeake, Virginia locations, or the one in Norfolk on Hampton Boulevard. Any one of those will verify or satisfy the free pizza or the 50% Pizzolis. And if you aren't sure what the pizza for a year certificate looks like, this is what we're giving away. Your name at the top of the hour, we're talking 8 o'clock in 15 minutes, could be posted there. This will be received by U.S. Post Office mail. You'll get it in the mail, 1 large, 1 topping. You could put it on your refrigerator and use it as a punch card, because now it's January. You'll get 12 pizzas all through 2026. That's pretty sweet. It'll save you some good money. I think it's a good money situation you can save, and you might be actually a big winner. But if you haven't tried the Pizzoli, I encourage you to check it out for $5. You're saving some money. The Pepperoni Magnifico is another popular item that they sell. But to satisfy your appetite, go to WTKR.com/Marcos, because even if you don't win tonight, there's a good chance you could win next week, because we'll be doing it again next week. All right, so getting back to the weather, I just want to show you the clouds that we have here, right? Think of it as a partly to mostly cloudy sky. The rain chances are pretty much a 0 between now and tomorrow. But lo and behold, we move into Saturday, I've got a bigger raindrop compared to a snowflake. So that was on purpose. That was by design. I thought this would be a good opportunity to suggest most of us get rain, not a blizzard, but a few snowflakes, and maybe throw in some icy pellets that we call sleet. Oh, no, not sleet. It's possible. It's very difficult to go from rain to snow without some kind of transition, and that's going to take place, I think, as well in parts of the area. So let me show you, first of all, let's take a look at the rainfall forecast. This is one of the more popular models because it's American-made. Through and through, the GFS model. It's the National Weather Service's probably preferred model, but you're looking at a ½ inch or less. Emphasis on less. But what's difficult here is that it's really hard to peg Jell-O to the wall when the models don't even agree about how much water is going to fall from the sky. Because the first question you're probably asking is, how much snow are we getting? Well, that's a loaded question, because if I can't really determine even 2 days out that the same amount of rain is going to fall, because this one suggests 0.4, 0.3, the others are like 0 to 0.1. That's a pretty big range when you're talking about snow, because it could be a little nothing to, hey, I got a quarter to ½ inch, what'd you get? That type of thing. So this is the rain situation on the GFS, which is probably going to be the in-house model the National Weather Service will prefer or go to. And if you look at their snowfall forecast, same situation. Later on Saturday, we'll move this forward. It puts maybe a ½ inch. That's generous. Boy, is that generous. In the Eastern Shore. And maybe a few flakes that are recited up toward Richmond. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of zeros on this map. A lot of hubbubaloo. But my angle is this. I don't want weather to surprise you. Because if you're not tuned into the weather forecast, there's nothing worse than when it starts snowing and someone says, did you get that memo? I didn't know it was supposed to snow tonight. I didn't know. We're talking about Saturday. Still talking about Saturday. But the snow is not the biggest story. It's the fact that we're getting rain. It's going to be cloudy, mainly gray all day. But this isn't the only model in town. This one, again, is the European model. It brings it a little bit further south, right? This brings it all the way to Newport News. Certainly brings it into areas around Williamsburg and Exmoor, Cape Charles, and Onancock. So I'm just kind of curious, could you zoom in a little bit tighter? I sure can. Can't do this as easily on TV, but it would suggest, and again, I'm looking at specifically at this ECMWF, that's acronym for the European model. It would suggest it snows in a good part of the peninsulas. Northern Neck, the Eastern Shore. Certainly Chincoteague could get some snow. Exmoor, the entire Eastern Shore could get some snow. But what about? Yeah, that game always happens. I mean, did the model just arbitrarily decide to make it snow in Hampton and Poquoson and Newport News, but not Norfolk? Oh, I want my money back. Well, you didn't have to pay for this part, right? You didn't even have to pay for the pizza that we're giving away. But Norfolk on this model, it's a nothing burger, right? It could snow maybe if you crossed over into the peninsula. Matthews County, certainly Gloucester could see it, Gwynns Island. But this doesn't mean that this is going to be what verifies. As I said, I can give you an exhaustive view of all the data today, but it could change again tomorrow. That's just one of the natural things about weather that fascinated me from the jump. When I was really little, I loved snow. Of Growing up in Wilmington, Delaware, that's what I love to do. I like to, I'd like to dig the snow tunnels. I'm old enough, I remember the 70s, right? But that's what we had, big snows in the 70s. This is just like, nothing. It's very little. It's a trace to a half inch if you're lucky. And even that might be generous. So let's look at that European model again. Another look at the rainfall forecast. If you can't figure out how much rain is going to fall, this is significantly less than the first rainfall forecast I showed you. That one was 0.4. This shows about a tenth, right? If the models can't even agree about what amount of H2O is going to fall from the sky, how can you have any certainty as to what's going to come down in the P type? That's the precipitation type, and it's going to be very changeable. The snowfall forecast from the Euro, if you put some numbers to it, show it could be anywhere from a quarter to a half inch, maybe up to an inch around Wallops Island. So all of that's on the table. Great time for me to pause because I know there's bound to be a few questions in the house. And if you're in the house, let me know because I would love to get your comments on the screen. I'm just checking in. I want to make sure I'm importing the proper stream here. I was looking at the tease of tonight's First Warning Live. But we are going to actually go ahead and look at pizza winners from Marco's at the top of the hour, which is literally 10 minutes from now. So bear with me. But I did want to get to your comments if there are any here at 7:50 now, 7:51. Good time to say hi to you. I got, who do I have here? Charnel, I believe is the comment. I'm catching Charnel maybe in midstream. I don't live north anymore. Okay, well, there's a heart there. But I don't know where you live, Charnel, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching. Anyway, glad to have you here. Lynn Old is, well, he was one of our big pizza winners a couple of weeks ago, and he says he's always ready. For what, I don't know, but I'm assuming he's ready always for the snow. And he's probably always ready for pizza because he's got one this month in January. You know that. He knows. I don't need to remind him that. And let's see here. Taj Brown. I got Taj on here. Taj says, hey, we're ready. And he's flexing his muscle. I like it. Taj, hang in there, my friend. Excited that you're here too. By the way, as we go ahead, is this a big deal? No. But again, where it really starts to rub people the wrong way is that if they weren't paying attention to the forecast, then they get really mad at the weather community, say, did you know about this? I didn't know about this, and I didn't know my Saturday was going to include snow. I don't like driving in snow. I get it, right? Some people don't. But it could be what we see. Now, this is the chance for rain and snow, but I want to take you hour by hour. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're up Saturday morning, it's nothing, right? It's a lot of clouds. But this probably won't really start until probably now 10 a.m. for most. Repeat, 10 a.m. based on today's data would probably start for the rain. And it will slide across the Tar Heel State first as rain, and then right around, say, noontime, it's snowing in Roanoke. And if you notice there's that little pink ribbon there, that's the mix. That could be sleet. That could be icy pellets mixed in with some freezing rain. No pleasure. Nobody wants that. Nobody likes that, but it could mix in pretty well. And again, this is the same European model that had almost a half inch across the eastern shore, maybe a little more, but this is showing it's snowing in Richmond at this hour. What hour is this? This is 4 o'clock. Based on today's data, that's 4 o'clock. Can I move it a little bit further, please? Yeah, 7:30, probably your peak of the event. Because now if this verified, most of Northern Virginia is under the snow band. The snow bands are here, but it's certainly raining south of Norfolk on this model. Back Bay, it's Chesapeake, it's all rain. It's a cold rain in Duck and Elizabeth City and the Albemarle, but if you're further north toward Delaware, Salisbury, Maryland, you've got some snow. And you got some good social media pictures to prove it. All right? No bragging here, but if you do get some snow and you want to share it with us on social, we'll take it. But some of us don't want to drive in it. Some are like, man, 10 o'clock Saturday, it's still snowing. That's why I say you could pick up to an inch in places like Wallops Island or Salisbury, Maryland. And, did I mention there could be thunder down here off the coast of Wrightsville Beach? And Cape Fear could have some thunderstorms. Ooh, wow. And that's because the front's down there. But there's just enough cold air up here to cause some mayhem, some mischief, right? Whatever. All that happens all in one time frame known as Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Now, once it's gone, and that's slowing down at 12:30 midnight, it looks like it's trying to get out of the Delaware area, but it takes until Sunday morning before we see some big improvements. Sunday's actually pretty nice. I'd call this a mostly sunny day on Sunday with temperatures about 43. It's colder in the wake of this front. Absolutely it's colder, but at least it's dry and looks really good. And as far as Sunday afternoon, no changes. Now, when I talk about precipitation types, this is very important because some of us are like, just assume, yeah, it's even when it rains, people don't think about this, but there's enough cold air that you probably have some flakage way up in the sky. This will be mainly rain for most of us. But if there's some freezing rain, that would mean it freezes on contact. You know, like, you don't want that. And we're not going to get much of that at all. I think what we're going to probably get a good combination of would be rain, also some sleet when you have a shallow layer of warm air, and I'll take this full screen so you can see the dynamics involved. It's not just the temperature at the ground. Some people are like that, well, how could it be doing something else when it's whatever temperature? Because there's a multitude of temperatures in the column of air where you could go cold, warm, cold, and you've got sleet. So it's melting and then it refreezes into icy pellets. That's what sleet represents, right? If we were into the world of graupel, we'd be talking about snow pellets. I don't expect we're going to get much graupel, but I definitely think we got some sleet, rain, and some snow, and maybe some melting snowflakes. That's also an element here, because you look at the snow, it starts cold and it stays cold, right? It's snow the whole column down. So as it's falling down from about 5,000 feet, you might get some rain, you might get some sleet. I'm talking about that area that's right on the cusp, right? That's not everybody, but if you're in North Carolina, you're just a rain situation here. That's all I'm expecting for you in the Tar Heel State. I hope that makes sense. I've got a lot of comments that might be trickling in, and if so, this would be a great time, as it's now 7:56. I'm about 4 minutes away from giving away some pizza. I got Kim Thompson-Jones on here. She's on here. She says, push the snow south for us. I'm just the messenger, but I do appreciate the vote of confidence. I'm doing my best just to make sure everybody's informed, because my goal, so that weather doesn't surprise you, you watch First Warning Live. And I just wanted you to know that Saturday could have a few Gomer Pyle surprises. If you're old enough to know that reference, then you know exactly what Gomer Pyle used to say. Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's going to surprise the people, okay? And when that happens, then you just kind of brush it off and know it'll get better on Sunday. That's it. That's all. That's all I have to say about that element. Now, what about ice? Yeah, I mean, sure, we could get some icy pellets, but that doesn't mean it accumulates, see? See how I did that? I wanted to load the ice accumulation product from the European, and it shows nothing. That doesn't mean you couldn't get some sleet. Ding, 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 ding. It sounds like that when you're in the car on the windshield. When icy pellets strike your windshield, it almost sounds like you won the lottery. Ding, 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 ding. What is that? Oh, what is that? That's sleet. Or ice pellets. It's the same thing as tomato. Same thing, interchangeably, but there's no ice accumulation. It's not an ice storm, okay? It's just a little bit of a mix that could be disruptive for your Saturday evening plans. Now, our lows today, believe it or not, Norfolk's temperature must be down for repairs or maintenance, or they just have it offline. No worries. The last time they reported at Norfolk International publicly through the Weather Service was 11 a.m. yesterday morning. 11 a.m. yesterday morning. That's more than 24 hours ago, I know. So I don't have a temperature, but I did get the climate report that said the low was 35 at 5:18 p.m. So it was kind of an inverse, like a colder in the evening type of situation. It got down to 32 in Virginia Beach. Some of these numbers may have been occurring in the last hour or two, but we did hit 46. The National Weather Service from Wakefield did update Norfolk to say we hit 46 for the first day of the year. And you'll notice we were 30 degrees. Do I have this right? 30 degrees warmer 4 years ago. Because 76 and 46, difference is 30 degrees. And that was 4 years ago, because last I checked, it's 2026. 2026, 4 years ago, 30 degrees hotter. That's the highest temperature we've ever had on New Year's Day. It's probably a good trivia question in the future, but we'll see. I got other type of trivia for you. But 53 was the high in Elizabeth City, 56 in Edenton, 53 in Ahoskie. Oh my goodness, and it was 51 in Franklin. So there were, to be fair, a lot of areas around to the south that got in the 50s. Tomorrow, I think more people will warm up. And I'm talking Newport News, Hampton, Chesapeake. We'll be in the low to mid 50s tomorrow too. So we're going to feel some of that going into tomorrow. Okay, now we're into one of my favorite parts. Are you ready? It's 8 o'clock. One of my favorite parts is giving away free pizza. So we're going to do some individual pizzas first. Our friends at Marco's, being generous, they didn't have to do this, but they're doing it. So they're giving away some free pizza. So maybe if you're on this list Maybe if you're not, maybe you know somebody whose name is called, you can notify them. But please know the certificates are going to be mailed in the U.S. Post Office mail. They'll be getting it. If you see something with either Marco's or WTKR, don't throw it away because you're throwing away good food. That would be terrible. But the first two winners from my neighborhood to your neighborhood, hey, Christina Burke. Congratulations. Christina Burke from Norfolk just won a free one-topping pizza from Marco's, as did Deborah DeBlay. If I said that right, Suffolk. Congratulations to Deborah. She's also a big winner tonight. She's got free pizza and a certificate coming in the mail. I also have number 3 and 4 in no particular order. Heather Short, congratulations to you from Virginia Beach. And Karen Fuller from Norfolk. Also winners tonight, a free large Marco's pizza with one topping of your choice. Certificate will be sent, and you should be getting that any day now. Isn't that exciting? I can't stop there. I got more. I got number 5 and 6 on the screen. Oh my goodness, is that Kimberly Thompson Jones? Oh, I don't know. It says Kimberly Jones, Virginia Beach. Kimberly Jones, by the way, if you're not a regular viewer, she is one of our regular people that leave comments all the time. All the time I get notes from Kim Thompson Jones. See, I don't know if this is the same Kim Thompson Jones. This says Kim Jones, but could it be Kimberly? You know what I'm saying. I don't know, because I don't know where Miss Jones is. She's from Virginia Beach. She could very well be the big winner for Marco's Pizza tonight, as is Louis Schlepp from Virginia Beach. Glad to have him here as well. Do I have more winners? I do. I believe I have more winners. Let's put them on the screen. Number 7, Maria Sims from Norfolk. Congratulations. And Melissa Toomey. The Melissa Toomey? I mean, really the? Yes, indeed. Can only be one, I would imagine, that we have an address for anyway. Our sales team randomly picks these names, and I'm glad to put them on the screen tonight. She's in Chesapeake. Melissa Toomey, congratulations. If you're watching, would love for you to enjoy this pizza and share it. Be sure to share it, because you know a large pizza is a lot of food to eat, and you can share it with your family. By the way, number 9, number 10 is going to bring a smile to my face, and maybe yours too. Taj Brown. Oh my goodness, Taj. How long have you been waiting to win some pizza? Taj Brown from Virginia Beach just won some free pizza. I know he's excited. Taj Brown says, yeah, he's excited. I'm glad he's here. Let's see here. Do I have he's got, I guess, a comment. Maybe this was an older comment. He's got a smiley face. Maybe he's excited. He'll have to wait to see when he gets his certificate how excited he is. But Tuppence Perry of Virginia Beach, number 10. 10 individual winners tonight. Congratulations to all of you. And I'm most excited because, you know, when people are interacting with me live, and there's only maybe a handful that do it all the time, it might very well be Kimberly Thompson Jones and Taj Brown. So kudos to number 5 and number 9. If you are the winners, which it seems like you are, you're going to be enjoying a free Marco's Pizza in just a few short days once it arrives in the mailbox. Glad to have you here. Now, I've got to also talk about the other big winner, which of course is the pizza for a year. And then we're going to get back to the weather, I promise. But we're going to get back to the pizza for the year, and we'll start with some confetti. All right, the big winner for this week, and for the first winner of the year on the first day of the year, 2026. Oh, get on with it. Okay, it's Charles Marks from Virginia Beach. Congratulations, Charles. You are the first winner of 2026 to win 12 pizzas for the entire calendar year. Isn't that awesome? So you'll have one free pizza. You'll be able to use that. It's being mailed to you. Excited about that. I got a Taj Brown. He's so excited. He's saying hallelujah. Hallelujah is correct. I'm so glad that I'm actually being able to interact with the winners who are watching live, and there are quite a few. Appreciate Kim. Oh no, Kim's saying it's a 50-50. She says, it's not me, David. Okay, well, Kim, you could assume that Kimberly Jones could have been you, but if it's not you, I understand there'll still be other times down the road, but I'm excited that Taj is excited. He's got a free pizza head his way. And Charles Marks, thank you so much for participating, because again, if you want free pizza for a year, he's going to be getting a certificate that looks like this. His name will be in the upper left-hand corner, and he'll have 12 pizzas. Again, that's a lot of money saved. One large, one topping pizza, and you can share it with the neighborhood, share it with your family, share it with your friends. Of course, if you didn't win tonight, you can always get the $5 Pozzoli using the promo code WTKR David. I also mentioned that these are the 6 locations now that are participating in the free pizza and the Pozzoli $5. And all you have to do is sign up, WTKR.com/Marcos. You can win next week because we'll be doing it again. Again, next week. All right, getting back to the weather. That's what we're here for. We're talking about temperatures that hit 48 today in Virginia Beach. Cold, yes. Some areas were warm today. I mentioned most of North Carolina hit 50 or higher. This will go back to about 53 tomorrow. And our peak gust today in Virginia Beach was 36 miles an hour for the first day of the year and 28 miles an hour for Manio and along areas on Roanoke Island. Now, weather headlines, really pretty simple, kind of going it backwards. We turn and will turn milder tomorrow for day 2 of 2026. And the rain-snow mix will be possible, developing on Saturday and Saturday night. And mostly sunny skies return on Sunday, but it will be chilly again. Our current temperatures as of 8 o'clock. Again, Norfolk withstanding 34 in Portsmouth. It's 35 Hampton, 39 Kitty Hawk. It's 40 in Manio. It's already down to 28 in Melfa and 30 in Gloucester. The wind chill brings it down to 29 in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, so it's kind of chilly, no doubt. And the wind chill forecast might dip as low as about 27. I found this a little interesting. This is at 3 in the morning. 27, but then it comes up a little bit, and that might be a function of some clouds, because by the time you get to 7 in the morning, 4 hours later, it's up to 32. So it's come up 5 degrees in a couple hours. So it may not be as cold at 7 as it is at 2 or 3 in the morning. Either way, Friday's planner looks milder, not in the morning, but in the afternoon. I think at noontime, we were around 40 today. We should be around 48. Winds will be about 5 to 10, gusting a little higher. And now the sun sets precisely at 5 p.m. Isn't that nice? Starting tomorrow, one sign of the, hey, we're getting away from the winter solstice. Now that we're in a new year, our minutes are going in the reverse. We're actually getting longer days, which is nice. Nice to have longer days. 53 the high tomorrow. Scattered clouds at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Keep the comments coming. Tonight's lows about 32 in Virginia Beach. Expecting 26 for Franklin, Edenton about 32. Our friends in Bertie County and Windsor about 29, 38 in Duck, 25 Waverly, Cortland, and Murfreesboro, about 28 Gatesville, 27 in Matthews. The temperature trend, I mentioned the normal is about 52. We might squeeze out an above average day here and again next Tuesday. And there are signs that it will warm up too, but I'll tell you, I had to put this little arrow here. That means we're going to cascade downward as the day wears on. Once we have this little southern slider, which we've covered in great detail at the beginning of this live stream, that southern system will cause our temperatures to fall on Saturday. So don't think we're getting to 45 in the afternoon. It might occur in the morning, getting gradually colder. So it's a cold rain for most and a little bit of mixing for some areas along the eastern shore and peninsulas and northern neck. Meanwhile, as we take a look at our trivia question for tonight, I give kudos to meteorologist Tony Nargi, who came up with this question from our noon show. Some of you might have seen it, but it's a great question. Which country is the first to see the new year? Is it Kiribati, Fiji, or Marshall Islands? Is it A, B, or C? This is your chance to display your infinite knowledge and wisdom. Glad to have you watching. If you know these countries, to be fair, I had to Google some of this. I'm like, where is the Marshall Islands in connection to Fiji? In connection to Kiribati. So I would love to know what you think. Is it A, B, or C? I got Donna Moore. She's on here. She's indicating that it's too cold in Gloucester. Well, I can imagine. I think you've got a great chance to see some snow, Donna, in 2 short days. Because 2 short days from right now would be 8 o'clock Saturday night. It's probably snowing in Gloucester. I just wanted to be the messenger, so first warning. I got Taj Brown, the winner of a pizza tonight. He says it's B. He thinks it's B. Fiji. I believe Anthony Sabella referred to Fiji like with the CBS show Survivor. It's actually A. It's Kiribati, which is south of Hawaii, which I did find this, but they do this weird little, you'll have to go to Google Maps to see what I'm talking about. They do this strange, for lack of a better word, gerrymandering with the international date line. You got Hawaii here, Kiribati here, but Kiribati is on a different time scale. It's what it is. So Hawaii is the last to bring in the new year, but Kiribati's the first, it seems like. And then Fiji, and then Marshall Islands, in that order. So there you go. But everybody now is in the new year of 2026. It's kind of an interesting little trivia question. Now, what's also might be maybe trivial to you if you're a landscaper, you're a gardener, you're a farmer, and maybe you were just kind of curious how we ended the year. We finished December at 0.93, just under an inch below normal for the month of December in terms of moisture. The rain we get this Saturday will be beneficial, but most of us are yellow. That is level 1 out of 5 individual levels from NOAA. So you got level 1, level 2, level 3, which is severe, 4 is extreme, and 5 is exceptional. It's not every day you see exceptional drought, but level 1 just means it's abnormally dry. It's pretty bad in the Eastern Shore, right? Abnormally there. Gloucester, which we heard from Donna a moment ago, she's under level 1. Level 1's better than, I say level 1's better than level 3. That's severe. And there are some areas that are turning moderate drought in Bertie County. Bertie County has some areas in the Albemarle might considerably be very, very dry as we finish the year. And again, we got the new drought monitor. Typically it comes on Thursday, but because today's a holiday, I believe they issued it yesterday. But you can see parts of New England has some red areas. That would be Portland. They're under the extreme drought. Areas in northern parts of Virginia under a severe drought in orange. And if we move further to North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and Greensboro, and Asheville, all under a moderate drought. So Knoxville, East Tennessee, where I spent 15 years, they're under level 1. Oak Ridge, Lenoir City, those are in the moderate drought area. So these areas could use some rain. It's really bad and dry in South Texas. I just point this out because some of us in and around the United States are working from a deficit as we start the new year. Nothing maybe that we can't overcome, but when we get to the growing season, which is obviously months away, for many of us, we won't necessarily be working from an even playing field. We're going to be on the drier side as it stands right now. We'll keep you posted. Now, the Arctic air, I show you this a lot with the sudden stratospheric warming event. I want to show you today's particular picture. This is the temperature analysis at about 10 to 11 miles up, and it looks pretty muted. From yesterday, it looked like this, and I believe a couple days back on the 30th, it looked like this. So the redness started to go away as we move through the 31st, and then today's the 1st. So I don't expect winter to really hold on much past perhaps Dr. King Day, which of course is the 19th of January. Does that mean it can't snow at the end of January, February? No, of course it could, but I think we're going to start pulling back. And I've got good evidence for that. And this particular canary in the coal mine would suggest that we're also just not going to see the cold polar Arctic blasts that we've been seeing. When you do get a sudden stratospheric warming event, which we had especially around the 1st of December, pushes some of that cold air down, and that's what we've been seeing. But you can follow the cold air in purple and blue as it moves away right through the 8th, 9th, 10th of January. There's some cold air in Maine, but it might have a hard time getting down to Virginia Beach. So all of this is to say that easy come, easy go. We're still watching the cold air, but most of it seems like it's going to be bottled up into Canada, perhaps for the second half of January. If you look at December, we did finish, are you ready for this? I got the numbers here. Negative 4.6. Let me say that again. 4.6 degrees below normal for the entire month. So if you add up all the highs, all the lows, it was a cold month. And I don't think January is going to be negative 4.6. It's probably going to be a little bit on the mild side, especially the second half of January. And there's good evidence, even though we started today from the same page of the same playbook, we finished below normal on January 1st at 46. You can see that we were, again, 30 degrees shy of the record high, which was set back in 2022. Having multiple sources for information for the new year, great reminder to download the free First Warning Weather app. News 3 has a great interface where you can get the notifications that apply to you and you alone in real time. Plus, having a NOAA weather radio is a great example where you can keep that information flowing in the event that your phone loses charge or if your cell phone tower loses power due to wind. Like a tornado, maybe you lose power from that, and then the notifications don't stop if you have the NOAA weather radio. It's just a backup. Average airport delays, clearly we've got some issues where San Francisco looks like they've got a 43-minute problem there, maybe a half hour in Phoenix. Could these be weather-related issues here on the first of the new year? It seems like we've got more wet weather out west. Looking back toward Denver, they've got some showers. It really gets ugly and messy and pink in maybe southern Washington state where they've got freezing rain and sleet. Portland, it's mainly scattered rain showers. Moving back toward Boise, Idaho, it looks like it's rain and more rain in parts of central Nevada. Parts of California also dealing with some rain. LA, maybe a little scattered showers in parts of California. Texas doesn't look all that wet. Few showers here. Florida, very dry. And of course, we're watching some lake effect snow streamers coming downwind of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie at this hour. It is 8:14. Our current temperature 33 in Newport News, 32 in Suffolk, 29 in Chesapeake. We have 35 in Smithfield and 40 in Manteo. I mentioned the fact that there is a front draped across the state of North Carolina, so it's warmer in places like Atlanta, 52, versus Pittsburgh at a measly 16. So you can almost make out there's a front in here somewhere. It's 67 right now in Lubbock, but it's 14 degrees in Minneapolis. I mean, what's a few dozen degrees difference between friends, right? Keep it real. It's really cold to the north, where they're at negative 13 at Lynn Lake Airport, but that's going to probably stay up there as we start to trend a little bit milder in the days to come. Follow the cold air in white and blue. The highway of cold air has been paved, but there will be a battle. This battle will go on, as you can see from Texas in red. Some of the cold air down toward the Great Lakes will try and ease down into the Rockies. And then eventually, by the 11th, I think by the 19th, it should be pretty apparent that things will change. Our friends at the Climate Prediction Center put out what's called a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. That's the 7th through the 11th. It's like a blowtorch. It's not like 90-degree temperatures. Don't get that in your mindset. But this is just meaning it's way above normal for this time of year. And this time of year, our normal high is 52. So really red might be 62, right? So we will have warmer days to come. I have a 61-degree temperature reading expected on Wednesday the 7th. Wednesday the 7th of January, I think it'll be very warm. Now, if we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast or expectation, it's more of an outlook. This takes you through January 15th, and you can see it's getting cold. It's like the teeter-totter, right? It's turning above normal here. It's near normal in the heart of the country around Nebraska, but now it's getting cold out west where they've been nice and toasty. So that's why I say, by the time we get in the middle of January, and we're on the January 1st now, it's all going to change. So you better hope that you get the snow that you're looking for on Saturday up in Gloucester. Maybe you're thinking, I didn't want snow. Or if you just want a blizzard, you can always go to Dairy Queen. I guess that could be one way to do it. I don't know. All right, 8:16, 42 for blocks, 42 on Nancock, 41 Chincoteague. That's your Friday expectation. Cape Charles, 44, 43 in Exmoor. We're in the mid-50s tomorrow. Again, 50s for North Carolina, about 55 for Manteo, 53 for Duck. Nags Head, Kill Devil Hills, about 54, and about 56 for Hatteras and Ocracoke. Just wrapping things up, I want to show you the Storm Prediction Center maps. Usually, if we see dark green or yellow, that's a good sign that severe storms are going to pop, but no sign of that at all between now and 7 a.m. tomorrow. No sign of that in the lower 48 on Friday, and no sign of that, well, that's not to say Saturday. Saturday could have a few hot spots. Looks like Chico, California, north of Fresno, could have some isolated storms all the way up to Crescent City, California, and even in parts of Oregon. Could have isolated severe storms Saturday. If you're in Savannah, that's a beautiful place. Panama City or Destin, maybe Dothan or Valdosta, these areas could have some isolated severe storms. As I mentioned, there could be some thunder around Wrightsville Beach and Cape Fear in Wilmington on Saturday, but this area of the country, southern Georgia, northern parts of Florida, could have some isolated severe storms roll through on Saturday. So let's take you through the futurecast. I don't want to delay this any further. It's now 8:18. You can see that we've got clear skies for some, many of us here, and we got some clouds here. This is 11 o'clock tonight. I will call it a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Tomorrow morning, I could say it's going to be sunny, but if you're in Exmoor, you're like, that weatherman doesn't know what he's talking about because I'm in Exmoor, I'm at the diner, I'm having coffee, and there's not a single ray of sunshine. It's all clouds. That's possible. It's one of those things. It could be cloudy in Williamsburg tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., but it could be sunny elsewhere. Eventually, partly cloudy skies will prevail once we move into 4 o'clock. Again, winds generally 5 to 10, and they'll shift generally from west, southwest to northerly during the course of tomorrow. Tomorrow night, however, the clouds roll back in. Oh, yeah, that sets the stage for Saturday. Not at 7 a.m. Let me be clear, because oftentimes the message that gets heard is, I heard it was going to be such and such on Saturday. Not at 7 a.m. It's not. It's just clouds. Give it till 10. I think we can take it to 10. This is the graph model. This shows a more rain and very limited amount of mixing, which goes back to what I said initially at the start of this live stream. I've exhausted all the data I could share with you about this event on Saturday, but it could change tomorrow. It could, and I'll update you on Facebook. But this one, just this particular model, this does not even show at all much mixing at all at 10 a.m. Let's take it one step further. How about 11 a.m.? Don't see much of it now. This is maybe the newer version, and it shows it's all rain all the time. Does that mean the European model is out to lunch? No, it means that they could have maybe a blend of the two. It's still yet to be determined. But there's certainly some mixing here. I see some pink in there. That's pink. And just because we often do this so often in weather, we focus so much on the colors, right? Let me put this back into perspective. We focus way too much on the colors, because this color might be the average, right? Even though it's green, it might actually be a mix. And even though it's really green here, it might be just rain. But there could be some snow in here, and there will be times for these models which update every 3 to 6 to 12 hours. You're going to get new data, new output. New output's going to suggest. So I would be fasten the seatbelt. We're going to have some mixing going on in parts of the 757 on Saturday night. Just because this model doesn't flash neon sign, hey, there's a lot of mixing here, it suggests a little bit, but I think that's probably underplayed. So we'll have to wait and see. It's now 8:20. You can see it's 7 o'clock Saturday night. It's not done. It's not done. There could be some snow mixed in there. Again, systems coming up from the south. Some of these models are awful with southern systems. So I just throw that out there. There's still a lot of room for the Gomer Pyle surprise. The surprise, that's just because the models aren't showing it. I'm telling you, be prepared for it. And then by 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, it's gone. It's bye-bye. It's pretty much on the way out. 8:21, 30, 29, 32. The Friday morning forecast will be cold, but at least it turns milder in the afternoon. 27 Suffolk and Husky, 29 Cape Charles, 30 for Norfolk, about 31 for Hertford. High temperatures tomorrow in the 40s for the peninsulas, about 47, 56 North Carolina, 53 South Side. Got 60 for Edenton tomorrow. Isn't that nice? That's a good day to go to Edenton. Tomorrow's a great day in Edenton and Windsor at 60. About 50 for Williamsburg, 44 for Cape Charles. If you're lucky, 54 Smithfield and Chesapeake, 54 for Nags Head tomorrow. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 370 forecast, 53 tomorrow. Falling temperatures Saturday, mostly sunny Sunday. And the best day for at least Norfolk and Hampton Roads may very well be Wednesday, despite the fact that clouds may build, more clouds expected. At least we have the potential to get into the mid to upper 50s, if not the lower 60s by middle of next week. Got a few more showers coming in on Thursday as well. Did I mention some happy shots? Why not? First day of the year. This is actually taken from yesterday, New Year's Eve on the Bay, from Mike. Thank you, Mike Earp, for sharing that with us. Beautiful picture. Makes us all long for warmer days, but it really does warm the heart to see these great photographers take these great pictures. Bradley Fullwood today. New Year's Day in Hampton this morning. This was from this morning. Just beautiful. Just breathtaking. That's why we love living here. Then look at this. Charles, New Year's Day this afternoon in Newport News. Scattered clouds, just a beautiful picture. Charles, thank you for sharing some of your talents with us with that photograph as well. I mentioned the radar. We got satellite radar on the screen. Scattered clouds right now, partly to mostly cloudy. That will prevail, but turning milder tomorrow at 53, 45, and falling on Saturday. Sunday looks better, mostly sunny at 43. Did I mention the Pozzolis? Oh, yeah, I did. $5. That's a steal when they're usually going to be about 8 or 7 or even 6. You can get it for 5, and you can save yourself a lot of money for just going to marcos.com. We appreciate their being so generous with the pizza. As we mentioned, if you didn't sign up, you will have a chance to win pizza for a year next week. But a big kudos winner to our friend Charles Marks of Virginia Beach. He's won pizza for a year, and our 10 big winners tonight for individual pizzas are on the screen at this time. So I just want to thank all of you. Appreciate your patience. I know this might have gone a tad longer, but just remember, tomorrow's great. Saturday's going to show some signs of raining situation developing, especially late morning and into the afternoon. So it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious. Just remember, every day is a gift. So make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here next week. Take care.